What's up, everybody? It's your girl Raina, and you know what it is. It's Wine Chats. This episode, we're starting off with the classic Sutter Home Pink Moscato for the girls on a budget, okay? Which is girls equals me. Get a little swig of that. Hold yourself accountable. Do not let yourself off the hook, okay? As I've gotten older and as I continue to get older and mature and kind of break down a timeline of what I want the next 5 years, 10 years of my life to be, I realize that the vision that I have for my life, everybody has this vision that they've made up in their head of what they feel like their life should be or what they feel like their life will eventually become just because from the time you were a child. And the older you get, you realize, dang, I'm getting closer and closer to the age that I thought everything was going to be figured out, and it's not working out. And a panic starts to set in. What I started to realize is that it's all up to me. Yes, I have this vision of what I want my life to be. Yes, I have dreams and aspirations, but I have to do the work. It's simple, but until that light bulb clicks in for you, until you really turn it on, until you realize that it's go time, that dream that you've seen, that you've watched in your head from the time you were a child is gonna be further and further and further in the distance. You're never gonna get there until you hold yourself accountable. I think a major blessing for me is when I realized I did not have to accept the life that I was given. That I have the choice. I have the ability with this brain, with these hands, with these legs, with this body, with this vessel that God has given me. I have the ability to make anything happen. And sometimes that's a little scary. Do I have it in me? Is this a lie that my parents told me about myself? Is it a lie that my friends tell me about myself? Is it a lie what God says about me? Because I just don't see it right now. That's okay. I think we've all been there. But on the other end, isn't that a blessing? That your parents don't get to define the life that you have, that your friends don't get to define the life that you have, your abusive relationship. But isn't that a blessing that at any point in time, any moment of the day, any day of the week, any week of the month of the year, you can do something different. You can change your life. For me, that is such an amazing thing. And I have all intentions of taking control of that. To be completely candid, the mistakes that you make on your journey to becoming your full self can sometimes discourage you. And if you're not careful, you will miss the learning opportunity and you will let that instill a level of guilt in your spirit that will only hurt you and prevent you from going where you want to go. I dropped out of college. I dropped out of hair school. I always felt like I started things and then I didn't finish them. So then you go throughout life and you're doing okay. Things are, coming together slowly but surely. But in the back of your mind, you're telling yourself, I'm a quitter. Of course things aren't happening for me the way that I want them to. If I would have just stayed with this, if I would have just finished that, then maybe I'd be somewhere different. And perhaps that is true. But perhaps those mistakes or those decisions that you've made was necessary for you to go where you're going and be able to appreciate it. Another step of holding yourself accountable is starting something and finishing it. If you make up in your mind that you're gonna start something, if you make up in your mind that this is what you really wanna do, you should sit down, you should come up with a schedule, you should come up with a tangible plan that you can work on a day-to-day basis that's gonna get those things accomplished in a timely fashion. Sit down, evaluate, the times that you go to work, the times that you're gonna spend with your kids, the times you're gonna spend with your spouse. Are you gonna work out? There's 24 hours in a day. You have the wherewithal to really sit down if it really means something to you and come up with a tangible plan. But sometimes for me, if I'm being frank, it seems a little too metaphorical. I need someone to tell me, this is what you need to do for the 24 hours in a day that you have. This is the way to work your plan. This is what you need to write down. This is a system that you need to develop, something that was tangible, that I could see, that I could feel, that I knew I could do to work my plan. Who will benefit mostly for you making your dreams come true? That's a question that I had to ask myself, and really realizing that, yes, in order for me to be who I want to be, there's a level of selfishness that comes along with that. There's a level of put your mask on first before helping someone else. But then when you think about it, like generational wealth, breaking generational curses, being an example for your family that's here with you now and generations to come, starting in a position right now, we can have heaven on earth. God did not bring us here to suffer until we die, to experience heaven after we die. He's not a malicious God. So everything that you want to do, every dream that you have, it can happen here, but it's not going to just fall. It's not going to come knock on your door one day. I suggest you get a journal, a notepad, a sticky note, construction paper, 3x5 note card, and start writing down everything. Be very specific in your prayers. My life has afforded me some challenges that I had no choice but to overcome. I started writing down little things about 3 years ago. You know, I want a new bed. I need a new car. Lord, help me to get approved for this apartment. I need a good job, a stable job that I can see myself being there long term. Help me to stop cutting people off when they're speaking to me. Help me to be a listener and not just hearing to respond. Things about myself, Lord, help me to save money. Show me the importance of saving. Praying for a grateful spirit, a spirit of gratefulness. A spirit of gratefulness will literally change your whole circumstance. It will change your mood even before the situation is even fixed. You just start looking around the room and praising God for things that you have that you didn't have a year ago, that you didn't have 6 months ago, that you didn't have 2 years ago, things that you really sat down and asked God for. I saw something really interesting the other day on Instagram that said, you know, sometimes life is so subtle that you don't realize everything that you asked for, all the little small things, all the things that now to you seem insignificant, but there was a time where you really needed these things, and you prayed about it, and you asked God about it, and you really meditated on it, and then you look up one day and all of the things that you meditated on have occurred. They've happened. You've got those things. That is how you develop a spirit of gratefulness. And I'm like, wow, check. Wow, okay. Check, that happened. Wow, and you don't even realize because it's taken time. They don't all happen at once. So one by one, these things are happening, and you don't even realize that your prayers are being answered. So how dare you not have a spirit of gratefulness, even when something else is going on? You know, new things are going to come across your desk all day, every day, until the day we leave this earth. But look back on your life, look at where you are now, even if things are not ideal at the moment, and just have a spirit of gratefulness. Hold yourself accountable. Who will benefit from you really living your dream? And always have a spirit of gratefulness. And I hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.